And we seem to be live. Hi, I'm Allomar Nexus. I make videos on YouTube, usually things about Marvel and DC and some Disney things. But am starting to do live streams because, well, frankly, it takes forever to make YouTube videos. And you need to feed the algorithm to stay relevant. So if I do, I don't know, 1 or 2 streams a week, I can get more videos out and grow my channel, yeah? So tonight I am kicking things off with a Stranger Things review. I'm gonna look at the new Frankenstein movie, and if this time I'll do the Warner Brothers bidding war. I'll try to do like 15 minutes on each of them. But like I said, this isn't going to be a big stream. I'm just testing out how the streaming works, all the software. This is actually like my 7th take today of starting the stream. And every time something went wrong. So hopefully it will go through this time. Okay, let us get into it. We'll start with Stranger Things. Okay, I kinda liked it. The music was good, lots of nostalgia. Better than like season 2 and 3. Season 1 was great, season 2 and 3 sucked ass. Season 4 was better, it was a return to form, you could say, of season 1. And they introduced the big bad, which tied everything together. And season 5 is not as good as season 4, I would say, but it's better than season 2 and 3. So, where season 4 ended was Vecna died. Well, Vecna was killed, Max died, and then the Upside Down caused rifts to open in, or stairs in space-time, whatever you want to call it, into the town of Hawkins. And it looked like it was immediately gonna be like a big invasion, something. The town merging with the Upside Down, all hell breaks loose. But where season 5 now starts, it's nothing really changed. The military rolled in, covered all the rifts with metal plates, and then life continued as normal. Well, everyone was like stuck in the town under military control, but the kids went to school, people went to jobs for basically a whole year now. And then all of a sudden, in like 1 or 2 days, a whole bunch of things happen all at once, which is a bit of a contrivance. Everything happening exactly at the same time just so the plot can happen. But yeah, let's get into it. So, one problem with the show is there's way too many characters now, and they try to focus on everyone or give everyone something to do, and some people are just literally punched out of the plot for a day or two just to neutralize them so the show doesn't have to focus on them. So if we look at the 4 boys, what's it, Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Will, their section, their part of the plot is Mike's little sister Holly disappears, and they try to find her because they think maybe Vecna is back and snatching kids. And they go around with Will sensing the demigorgons, so they kind of follow the trail. And then Hopper and 11 has been training a whole year to fight Vecna, while Hopper has secretly been having excursions into the Upside Down, trying to find Vecna and kill him so that 11 doesn't have to face him. Like, I don't know, the father trying to save the daughter from harm kind of thing. So what happens in the show is Hopper goes into the Upside Down and gets stuck there. And then 11 goes with Nancy to try and save Holly, but slips into the Upside Down, and now she's stuck in there too. And then the rest of the gang try to find a way inside so they can catch up with 11 and them. So everything happens all at once and they have to go inside. And then there's some things that in the plot that we thought ended in season 4, like the whole Steve, Nancy, Jonathan love triangle thing. It's still happening. Don't know why, because I don't know, maybe the writers can't think of anything else for them to do. Like, if Jonathan and Nancy finally have a good relationship, what do you do with Steve? You have to bring in another character, maybe a girlfriend or a different alpha male for him to square off against, which is what they did in season 4. And then the work stuff. Robin, which was one of the better characters in season 4, now has a lesbian girlfriend. I can't remember her name, she's just lesbian girlfriend. She's just there so that they can complain about how bad the 80s were for LGBT people, alphabet people. And also the thing about the lesbian relationship, Will sees it. Will sees them like hooking up. And then Robin has a little talk with him about being true to himself. And that is actually a major plot point, because once he starts to accept himself, he basically becomes like 11. He like discovers psychic telekinetic powers and he can control demigorgons. And then there's Vecna, the big bad. He died in season 4, now he's back. And I don't really understand his motivation. Like, the whole time up until season 4, his whole deal was trying to get out of the Upside Down. And now he suddenly has the power to open a portal and just walk out through, so that he can snatch some kids and drag them back into the Upside Down. So he no longer just wants to get out. He has some other, what do you call it, ulterior motives, not really. Some other plan. He wants to convert the kids, something like what he did with Will, but except he can't really control Will, so I don't really get it. Maybe it will be explained in the next 3 seasons, next 3 episodes that drops on Christmas Day. And then there's the big finale that's going to be over New Year's. But another interesting thing is there's a third dimension they added now, which seems to be Vecna's, I don't know, his mind, or I don't know, virtual space, something. And that is where Max is trapped, and eventually Holly as well. So now Vecna not only drags people into the Upside Down, he absorbs them or connects them to his hive mind, which is basically memories of his childhood. And then in the Upside Down as well, the town of Hawkins, in the Upside Down part, is surrounded by a big wall. So up until now, I thought like the Upside Down was just like a mirror image of, well, Earth, the world, the universe. But it might just be that it's just a town, and whatever is outside the wall is just empty space, or I don't know, some outreach demons or negative space, what you have it. So then if Vecna is put up the wall to like keep everything in or to keep something out, which is very interesting, but yeah, don't know where it's gonna go. Need more information. But the first 4 episodes, I enjoyed it. Not as much as season 4, but it has me invested enough to watch the rest of the season. Okay, speaking of monsters and horrors and things, I watched the new Frankenstein movie finally, which was, I don't want to say a disappointment. It was good. I enjoyed it. It's made by, what's his name? Guillermo del Toro, which always makes, I want to say like indie movies, but it's not indie movies. It's that kind of style, a unique style, almost like Tim Burton, but less goth, but lots of fantasy elements. He has like a unique style that is very exotic, maybe. And the movie stars Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein and Jacob Elordi, that you can see here in his Frankenstein makeup. Not Frankenstein makeup, creature makeup. And the movie basically follows more closely the book. So up until now, Frankenstein movies were always either a horror movie or they try to follow the book, but taking the complexity out of it. So you have the doctor that creates the creature from dead bodies, resurrects it, and then the creature wants to live, but everyone wants to kill him because he's ugly and whatnot. This one follows more closely the book. So it starts with Victor Frankenstein's childhood, how he trained to become a doctor, his mother's death, which is the reason why he gets into the whole resurrection thing. He has mommy issues. But they add a strange new twist. When the original, in the book and all previous movies, the creature is sort of innocent and he just wants to live and discover life and experiences and so forth. When this one, basically because he asks Victor to create a mate for him, which is same as in the book, but the girl dies before she can be turned or created. He decides he wants to die, but the way he was created in this film is he's basically immortal. Not just immortal, he has superpowers. He's basically like the Hulk. He can rip people's faces off, tear wolves in half, and he even has the strength to like push a giant ship that's stuck in the ice. He can push it out of the ice. So basically Hulk level strength. So that got me thinking, because now we have the Frankenstein movie, and in January, granted it's done by a different studio, a French studio, but they are making a Dracula movie. And the Dracula movie also follows the book very closely. Same as how the old one with, what was it, Gary Oldman and Keanu Reeves in 1992 or 1994, somewhere thereabout, followed the book closely. So it goes back 500 years to the ruler of I want to say Transylvania, but it's not Transylvania. It's some Polish thing, Wakania or something. Anyway, his wife dies and he curses God and says he doesn't follow God anymore or doesn't serve God and gets cursed and becomes Dracula, the first vampire. And then it fast forwards to the 1900s. Or is it 1800s? No, 1900s. Anyway, so it's basically in the same time as the Frankenstein movie. So I wonder if, even though it's done by two different studios, if there's going to be a eventual crossover and maybe a return to the Dark Universe, which I was excited for but got cancelled. But that would be a great thing. I don't think like a Avengers type of thing with all the monsters, although we could lead to that eventually. But just start with introducing the Frankenstein movie, then the Dracula movie, maybe a crossover, Frankenstein versus Dracula, and then you can bring in the Wolfman and have Frankenstein and Dracula versus the Wolfman, and then maybe some Eldritch monstrosity, Cthulhu or something, and the three of them, maybe the Mummy and the Creature of the Blue Lagoon, all of them working together, something like that. That would be nice. But back on Frankenstein, if that doesn't happen, if it's not like some big overarching some big overarching universe that they're creating, then you have to ask, why is it another reboot? Granted, there's like reboots all over Hollywood now. Everything is getting rebooted, remade, sequels, midquels, etc. But some of them are like now just reboots for reboot's sake. So the studios have the license, they have to make movies to keep the license. And so they're just making another iteration of the movie. Like I have literally seen in my 21 years of life about, I don't know, like 5, 6 Frankenstein movies since the 80s. Yeah. The best by far was the Van Helsing, which was, in my opinion, a perfect movie. Not perfect like it should win all Oscars for music and everything, but just it knew what it was, and to that effect, it was the perfect example, the epitome of that kind of movie. All the characters were brilliant, the story was brilliant, the action scenes were brilliant, everything fit perfectly together. But this Frankenstein movie is basically just Frankenstein for Frankenstein's sake. Yeah, so if you watch when was the previous one that followed the book? I think it was the one with Robert De Niro as the creature. I think it was also in the 90s or early 2000s, maybe. It's basically the same kind of story. But if you want a better example of Frankenstein, then watch the Penny Dreadful TV series, which is far better by leagues than this movie. It looks better, better story, better characterizations. There is some crossover with other characters, which was brilliant. And that's about all I have to say on this one. Just a reboot for reboot's sake doesn't really appeal to me, even if it is better visually. Same thing we just had with a few months ago with How to Train Your Dragon. Sure, people freaked out about the apparent race swap, which didn't actually affect the movie once you watch it. it was a great movie because it was a scene for scene adaptation of the animated version. And the animated version was great. It was brilliant. But if you're gonna make the same movie exactly the same way, the music is of the same quality, acting is same quality, then it's gonna be a brilliant remake, but it's unnecessary. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. But then again, if you have remakes where they try to change things, like for example the Lion King, the animated one was brilliant. The remake, they try to make it more realistic, and then the film was crap because you couldn't see the emotions on the characters. But yeah, so if you haven't seen any of the previous Frankenstein shows or movies, you can watch this one. It's great. You will be entertained, but Penny Dreadful is better. I would say rather watch the Penny Dreadful TV series. Okay, and then we'll go to... We still have some time left. I think we'll do... Doc Universe. Forgot about that slide. We'll go to the Paramount thing. Okay, so in case you didn't know about this, Warner Bros. Is up for sale because they have incurred massive amounts of debt which they can't pay off. So, but because they have loads of IPs in their register, they can sell according to those lines, have people basically buy them to get other IPs, but they have to take the debt as well. So the first one was Netflix. Netflix made the offer of 84 billion, which would be about $27 per share. And then they paid a fee to have exclusive, not exclusive bidding talk or a sales talk, sales pitch, what you ever call it. And now they in talk, they paid 5 billion for the ability to have the exclusive meetings. And if they decide not to do it or not to buy it, then they have to pay Warner Bros. 5 billion. But they made 84 billion offer and $27 a share basically. And now Paramount has circumvented the company and they went straight to the shareholders and made an offer for $30 a share, so 108 billion, which is about what, 18 billion more. So we'll see how it goes. Personally, like, I don't have a dog in the race. I don't really understand the Paramount situation. I understand the Netflix part. If Netflix buys Warner Bros., then everything is gonna be wokeified, like Netflix always does. And I had talks about some of the IPs that are on offer. So, for example, the new Harry Potter series. They already have a black Snape. Maybe they're gonna make more characters black. And Warner Brothers also have the Lord of the Rings movie rights. So Amazon can make the TV series about the appendixes all they want. But Warner Bros. Can, since they own the movie rights, Netflix can actually remake the trilogy and give us Black Aragon, which sounds weird, but in the Magic the Gathering card series, playing cards, they already made Aragon black. So it's not far-fetched. And that is sort of Netflix's style. But if Paramount buys it, Paramount have recently, what's the word, like de-wokeified, turning to more traditional TV series or styles, aimed more at the general mainstream that is not so woke, more conservative. So they brought out things like Tulsa King, Landman, more traditional masculine TV shows. But apparently I looked online and a lot of the people are concerned if Paramount buys it, because then it's to do with more like business ideas, like fear of monopolies, and because Netflix is more a streaming company, so Paramount is a movie company or a movie studio, and now they're buying another movie studio, one of the big, I don't know, big 5 movie studios. So there is fears of a monopoly forming. And then it might be where Paramount, Skydance, Warner Bros. Will be one company that basically make all the Hollywood movies. There might be some indie movies or Amazon making other things, but for the most part, they will be making most of the movies. And Netflix doesn't really make movies unless it's something like Frankenstein that they want to put up for Oscars. Most of the things are about streaming and bringing in more subscribers. So for now, it would be interesting to watch this. Although, from a business perspective, I'm not a businessman, and most of these things go over my head. Just, I would prefer Netflix not get their hands on Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. Okay, so that's all I would have for today. Like I said, I'm just testing out streaming, just running my mouth a little bit to test how everything works. In future, if I actually do decide to do regular streams like every week, maybe start a show, get another panelist, maybe have a panel show with multiple people. I have no idea really. Like I'm saying, I'm in the YouTube world just like a small channel starting out, so I'm just like testing out everything. This is actually my first video where I will be showing my face. All my other reviews were scripted movie reviews that I basically pre-recorded and yeah, just uploaded. So this is something new, just putting out the feelers, see if people like it, and if it does, I'll do more of it, yeah? So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again when I see you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.